16, 18 and 18 crown. Depending upon the number, the first number stands for the total member of the ring, as well as the second, the number which is present in the right hand side, that is indicating the number of oxygen atom which is present in the ring structure. The below bottom one is the krypton. Krypton is the combination of nitrogen as well as ether oxygen containing moieties. Here also in the first series, this line also we are having the ether oxygen, whereas here also we are having the ether oxygen. In addition to that, here we are having the tertiary amine nitrogen also. Working principles of ionophores. How the ionophores are working. Some ionophores increase the passive diffusion across the lipid bilayer, providing a hydrophobic pocket that binds a solute and sequester it away from the hydrophobic lipid interior. These ionophores generally show specificity of the transport because the binding pocket is suitable for binding of some of the metal ions, which is better having the better binding ability than the other metal ions. So these ionophores are highly specific. So whatever you are seeing, that is highly specific. If they can bind with the sodium metal ion, then they will only bind with the sodium metal ion. If they can able to make a bond with potassium ion, they will make bond with the only potassium ion. None other than anything will happen. Only potassium is allowed, then potassium only allowed. Potassium like, that is they never allow. From these type of ionophores, the ionophore ligand complex is believed to diffuse across the lipid bilayer. The lipid bilayers are present in the cell walls. These cell walls will be made up of lipid bilayer. So this ionophore ligand complex only they will allow to pass through the lipid bilayer, not the individual metal ion. The ionophore form an aqueous channel across the lipid bilayer. So as we have seen in the figure, this is also forming a aqueous bilayer, or here it is making some passage pathway. Here you can see the aqueous bilayer will be formed. This aqueous bilayer will facilitate the diffusion of the metal ion. Those are the things we should keep in our mind. So this is the structure of valinomycin. So valinomycin is nothing but a cyclic peptide which is containing 12 deoxypeptides. So 3 repeated sequence of L-valine, dehydroxyvaleric acid, D-valine, and lactic acid. These 4 amino acids combine together to form a peptide, and these peptide chains are repeated thrice in the valinomycin and forming the ring structure. See, if we are counting the total members which are constituting the valinomycin, so about 36 members are present in the macrocycle. This macrocycle is a flexible one. So then only it can make a bond with the metal ion. This oxygen atoms we are having here, it is having the isopropyl groups are hydrophobic in nature, whereas the carbonyl oxygen are pointed towards inside and it will accept the metal ion and it will undergo interaction with the metal ion. So valinomycin, it can adopt several geometries. So it is not having only one configuration. Depending upon the polarity of the surrounding medium, it can switch over its configuration or its conformation, and it can vary their structure. So the presence of and the absence of metal also vary the geometry. So where the metal ion will present, here you can see the cavity which is constituted by the carbonyl oxygens. That cavity is only fit for some of the metal ions, and once the metal ion is bound, then they will change their conformation. Once the metal ion is released, they will change to other conformation. These things are reversible in process. 6 carbonyl oxygen facing in the structure, so they will chelate with the potassium ion in an octahedral manner. So it form a 1:1 complex. One valinomycin that will produce oxygen, carbonyl oxygen. That carbonyl oxygen will bound to the potassium ion. This is a 1:1 complex. So if you are seeing the ionic radius, the ionic radius is of potassium is suitable for fit into the cavity of the valinomycin. So if you are taking 2 metal ions, potassium as well as metal ion, and you are mixing both the solution, and if you are allowing it to make complexation with valinomycin, potassium having the higher affinity, that will readily form complex. How many times it is higher than greater than that of sodium complex? It is 1,000 times greater than. So it is having more specificity towards potassium ion, not on the sodium ion. And nanactin. Nanactin is another polyether containing chelates. Those this special molecule, if you are seeing, it is naturally occurring microbial ionophore. It is present in the microbial. It resembles crown ether. Yeah, that we have seen. The cyclic tetralactone. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, and 4 tetralactone. It is a tetralactone. Is a tetrahydrofuran moiety is present. 4 tetrahydrofuran moiety is present. So 32 member cyclic tetralactone. So what we have seen in the case of the adenomycin, it is a 36 membered flexible cyclic peptide. It is a tetralactone. It is a 32 membered tetralactone. It forms crystalline complexes. It's having an affinity towards various metal ions, potassium, sodium, and ammonium ion. And depending upon the size of the metal ion, their complex nature will vary. The metal free form, the carbonyl oxygen is pointing outward, and 4 oxygen atoms from the 4 tetrahedral rings nearly form a square at the center. So what here see the carbonyl in the case of the valine-amazine, the carbonyl oxygens are pointing towards inside, whereas in the case of the non-active, this thioethers, the cyclic not the thioether, cyclic ether linkage tetrahydrofuran moieties, they are pointing inside and they are forming a square structure. Upon coordination to the alkali metal ions, so alkali metal, the conformation changes to form nearly a cubic arrangement. So cubic arrangement is offered by the 8 coordination. So metal ions will be present at the center. 4 oxygen atoms coming from the bottom, and 4 oxygen atoms are coming from the top side. So it will form a cubic-like structure. 4 carbonyl oxygen and 4 ether oxygen. Here you can see this is a ether oxygen and 4 carbonyl oxygen. These carbonyl oxygen also come inside whenever it is when we are allowing it to form the complex with the any one of the metal ions, as we have mentioned already, sodium or potassium or ammonium ion. If you are allowing, then immediately that will form a cubic-like structure. Then one molecule will cover like a hairpin like structure that will cover. So it will be connected via. This will be present at the center. This will be folded and it will cover like a single cubic manner. Mechanism for the membrane. This is ion channel. If you are seeing it's a large and membrane spanning molecule. Ion channels are previously we have discussed about the ionophores. It is nothing. It is the second one is the ion channels. Channels are nothing but is a one tube-like structure it will provide. There is a large and membrane spanning molecule. These molecules are large and membrane spanning means it will cover the membrane throughout the inside and it will connect. It is act as a connector between the inside and outside the cell and form a hydrophilic path. So here whatever we are mentioning is I want to insist is that whatever the channels are ionophores, that will provide a hydrophilic environment for the binding of the metal ion or passage of the metal ion. That we should keep in our mind always. Then only their passage is possible. Here you can see it is a lipid bilayer. Here you can see this is the membrane spanning protein. It is another protein molecule. This is maybe a simple organic or it's a complex protein structure also possible. So what is its characteristic? If you are seeing the characteristics, it is a hydrophilic in nature. Then only it can allow the charged cations. So it's this is the various parts which are present in the ion channels. If you are seeing this is a channel domain. Here only through which only the ions will be coming out. Then 2 is the outer vestibule. This is the outer vestibule, and 3 is the selectivity filter. This is the filter which is select the metal ion. Depending upon the ionic radius, the metal ion will be transported. So here we are having some phosphorylation site. This site is responsible for the energy, which is this will provide the energy for the ion transport. If you want to transport something or some go from one place to another place, what we have to do? We have to spend some amount of energy. Then only it will be transported. So, part